Welcome to the 5 for 2 podcast with me, your host Adele, where we say no to careers where you're trading 5 days of misery for 2 days of fun. A place we discuss all things career, confidence, and money moves. I want to motivate, teach, and empower ambitious women to achieve more, earn more, feel more confident, and enjoy the work they do. It's all about believing you can have everything you want in your career and then going and getting it. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Hello, it has been a minute since we last spoke. Welcome to 5 for 2, where we are done trading 5 days of misery for 2 days of fun. Because that's basically what it is when you're in a 9 to 5 that you hate. You are literally giving up 5 days to misery just so that you can live 2 days a week on the weekend. So that's not what we're doing. Today I'm going to talk about what ifs. And all the what ifs that you've got in your head that are going to keep you exactly where you are for another 10 years. And for a lot of you, I know it isn't where you want to be. What if it doesn't work out? What if I can't pay my bills? What if I hate the new job? What if I'm not good enough for the dream job? What if? There are so many what ifs. Those what ifs are literally what will drive you crazy and continually help you to choose what you don't want. When people talk about their comfort zone and being stuck in your comfort zone, it's the what ifs. They're a big part of keeping you where they are. What ifs are like filters your brain has chosen, similar to spell check. And I know when we talk about negative thoughts, there are so many of you listening that are like, I try so hard not to have negative thoughts, but they just creep in. It's not about stopping the negative thoughts. And I'm going to say that one more time. It isn't about stopping the negative thoughts. As a confidence and career coach, I have negative thoughts. We all have negative thoughts. The most positive person in the world has negative thoughts. Negative thoughts will always creep in. How you manage them, that's literally the key. It isn't about you trying to avoid the negative thoughts. It's about how you manage them. So let's get into it. Like I said, your brain is filtering the information it receives, just like spell check. You know, like when you're doing, like you're writing in Word, stay with me, but you know, like when you're writing on Microsoft Word and you've forgotten to set it to English UK. And it keeps telling you spell organised wrong and all these other words because you've got it set to English USA. And yes, even though we both speak English, UK and USA spell things very differently. Colour in the US doesn't have a U, but it does here. There are so many little words, like hundreds of words actually, that we say differently and we spell differently. So the computer's filtering these words and it's saying to you, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. That's exactly what your brain's doing. Your brain's just on the wrong setting. When you see a word come up in US and your computer tells you it's wrong, your brain quickly says to you, no, that's not wrong. That's the US spelling. This is the UK spelling. That's all you need to do with your negative thought. It's not about not having them. It's about choosing the right filters. And if you're sitting there thinking, I can't filter the thoughts. Yes, you can. You filter thoughts every day. It's the ones that you choose not to that become the negative what ifs. Because we can have positive what ifs. What if it all works out? What if I take this one risk and I end up exactly where I want to be? What if I leave this crappy relationship and actually meet the man of my dreams? We can choose the good what ifs, we just don't. And let me give you an example. If I said to you right now, I think you can be a rocket scientist, you probably start laughing, right? Unless you are an actual rocket scientist listening to this right now. But yeah, you'd probably start laughing and be like, what? If I told you to, like, you know what? You're just really bad at everything. Run away and join the circus. Again, you would laugh. That's a choice. Your brain has chosen to say, nah, that's not even possible. So why can't it choose to say, me failing isn't possible? It can, but you're not allowing it to. So when I say, you know what, quit your job and go be a rocket scientist, and you say to me, Adele, that's not even possible, that's a thought your brain has offered you immediately. You didn't even think about it in detail. You didn't really even get to, I'm not qualified, I don't have the experience. You just automatically were like, nah. If I said to you right now, I think you look way better with really, really short hair, so I think you should get a buzz cut and shave your head bald. What's your thought? What's your thought? No way, Adele. I look awful with a buzz cut. That's just not for me. Unless, again, you're the person who's chosen a buzz cut. But for a lot of you, you'll be like, nah, what? I would never have a bald head. Okay, so what makes me saying that statement to you, you're able to reject it automatically? But if someone says to you, you're ugly, you take it on board immediately and you start thinking, oh, maybe I am. But if I say get a buzz cut, you'll look amazing, you don't want to believe me. This is where I'm saying that you turn the filters on and off. You decide. Just like you can say, I don't think I'll look good with a buzz cut, you can say, I don't think I'm ugly. And I know some of you are saying, okay, but what if 5 people say I'm ugly, or 10 people say I'm ugly, or 20 people say I'm ugly? Cool. What if they do? What if 20 people say you're ugly and 20 people say you're pretty? Which filter is your brain choosing right now? Who are you believing? And you can pretend and you can lie, but I know a lot of you listening still will choose the negative one. Even if the exact same amount of people told you that you looked good and then the other amount said you looked bad, and it was even 20-20. So 40 people, you got an even split. Half say you're ugly, half say you're pretty. Why has your brain decided to go to the ugly? Because your default setting is negative. You know, when you restore your iPhone, go back to factory settings, your factory settings are negative. But they don't have to be. You don't have to stay there. Your brain is just offering you thoughts. They're not true, they're not false. It's just offering you a thought. When it offers you a negative thought, accept it. Ask it a question. It might sound crazy, talk to yourself. When your brain offers you a negative thought, what do you do next? You can accept the thought and let it start to sit and seep into your subconscious, or you can ask it a question. Why would I fail if I made the move into a career that I feel would feel better? Again, you can't know if it will be better, but why would I fail? Why is your brain offering you that thought? And sometimes you need to go with it. Go with the thought. What if you fail? I do this with my clients all the time. Let's go. What if you fail? What if you decide you're leaving your current job and you want to go for a different job and you fail? You don't get the job. Nothing changes. You're still at the same job. You're still earning the same money. You're still doing the same things. Just now, you've tried something different. And guess what? You can try again. Or what if you start the job and then realize it's not the dream job? Okay, then you go for another job. People say to me, oh, but I've got bills to pay. I don't know what jobs you guys are going for that don't pay your bills or don't pay salaries. Because if I leave a job today and go for another job, I'm going to a job that pays a salary. So I'll be able to pay my bills. The next thing I hear is, oh, but I'm trying to get a mortgage. Okay, how long have you been trying to get a mortgage? Because I hear that excuse so many times. And then when we get to the root of it, they're like, I haven't even spoken to a mortgage advisor or my bank or even tried to get a mortgage. But are you trying to get a mortgage? Or in your head, do you think you need to be in a job 10 years to get a mortgage? A lot of you have been in your job 10 years. Do you have a mortgage? Nothing to do with how many years you've been in the job. Can you show stable income? Can you show a high income? And does the bank believe you because you've got good credit? That's it. You can get yourself a financial advisor. You can get yourself a mortgage advisor. And some of them actually work for free. But that's it. Literally, that's it. You have decided that there are all these rules that don't exist. You haven't actually spoken to anyone. You haven't gone to your bank. You haven't gone to the mortgage advisor. But you're now saying it's a reason why you can't move and do the thing you really want to do. Because that's what it comes down to. These thoughts, the what ifs, the what if I can't, the what if I fail, they are all holding you back from what you really want to do. You know that quote that's like, what if you fail, my darling, what if you fly? Why can't you offer your brain that thought? When your brain offers you a negative thought, accept the thought. Don't try and fight the thought. So when my brain spirals, recently my brain spiraled out of control, and my daughter every morning gets up, goes to get on her school bus, goes to school. Never a problem. Has been doing that for the last 5 years. I woke up and was like, oh my gosh, what if something happens to her today? What if something really, really bad happens to her? What if someone tries to hurt her? What if someone tries to take her? My brain was spiraling. There wasn't a reason. So I started saying like, why? Why are these thoughts coming up? Why am I thinking these things? What has gone on? And sometimes when you ask yourself, you will get the answer. Suddenly your brain will be like, well, this happened to you the other day and now you're worried. But that day, that didn't happen. I just kept thinking, oh my gosh. And then I had to say to my brain, what if she's at school right now and she's fine? If she wasn't at school, they would have messaged me by now and said she hasn't shown up because my daughter's school does not play. She's 10 minutes late. You will get a text, an email, and a phone call. Where is your child? Then I was like, every day she goes to school and she's fine. Today is nothing different. I could have given into that thought and been like, oh my gosh, because I'm feeling it, maybe it's a sign that something's going on. We all do that. We all spiral. You don't have to spiral. Your brain is offering you a thought. Offer it back another thought. Every time your brain says to you, okay, what if you start the new job and it's not great? Offer it a thought. If it's not great, I'll leave and find something else. But where I am right now, I'm not happy anyway. So could it really be much worse? Some of you are saying, better the devil I know than the devil I don't. What if you just stopped thinking about it like that and didn't want to work for devils and actually wanted to work for people that are really nice, in really nice environments where they pay you your worth? What about that? What about that thought? I don't want to work for the devil I know or the devil I don't. That's comfort zone talking. Go to your worst case scenario. When the negative thought comes up, let's indulge it. Go to your worst case scenario. What is the worst thing that can happen? Because the truth is, 99.9% of the time, the worst thing that can happen is you stay in the exact same place you are now, which is what you're doing anyway. So what's the worst thing that can happen? If you want more money, ask. If they say no, ask why. If it's a new position, you've gone for an interview and you're asking for more money and they say no, interview somewhere else. Don't make it mean anything. Do not make the thoughts that your brain comes up with mean anything. They are negative thoughts that just came up. The thought came up, cool. Think about it for a minute. Okay, I wonder why I'm thinking that. Why am I not thinking this? Challenge them. The more you challenge the thoughts, the more you'll start laughing at yourself. And I know it sounds like you're talking to yourself consistently, but that's all that's happening when you have the negative thoughts. Your brain is talking to you. Your brain is offering you information, and you can decide how you filter that information. You cannot stop your brain offering you this information. It's like if you're afraid of heights and you got really high and you suddenly think, what if I fall to my death? Your brain is just offering you thoughts. You can filter the thought. When I tell people I skydived that are scared of heights, they're like, nah. Adele, what if you died? Okay, but I didn't. I'm here right now doing the podcast, talking to you. I didn't. That wasn't my fate. That wasn't my destiny. When I was going up in that plane, I was petrified. When I was about to jump, I was petrified. When I jumped, I was petrified. And then all of a sudden, it was the most amazing feeling I'd ever had, and I wanted to go again. The fear and the thought are not going anywhere. If you are waiting for them, like I said at the beginning of this episode, you will be where you are right now, even if that's somewhere you don't want to be, for another 10 years. You can either deal with the stress of fear and the thought and manage them, or deal with the stress of being where you don't want to be 10 years from now. Regret is one of the worst feelings to have, more than failure, because you can fail and you can fix it. But regret, once you can't go back. Once you're in regret, once you think about all the things you could have, should have, wish you did, you can't go back. Your brain is offering you thoughts and information. You decide what you do with that information. What if you decide today to make a plan for the life you have been trying to go after? What if you stop making excuses? What if today is the beginning of everything that you want? And let's go back again. What if you choose wrong and it all falls apart? What does that mean? What is all falling apart? What are we losing? What is happening? Because that's the part I never understand. The part where we're saying to ourselves, if I leave this job and I don't like the new job, everything falls apart. Do you know how many jobs there are? Do you know how many companies there are? Do you know how many opportunities there are? But you think leaving one opportunity and going into one wrong opportunity makes everything go wrong. I can tell you very categorically, I've moved into the wrong job more than once. And one of them, the worst one, I think I lasted 3 months. It was awful. And then straight after that, I ended up in my dream job, which is my current job, where you all know I work part-time and get paid full-time money. It didn't start off like that. Because when I say that, people think I jumped in that job and that's how it happened. No, because over the years, I've been cultivating my confidence, my value, understanding what I contribute, and then putting a price on it, and then deciding what I want my life to look like. I don't want to work 5 days, so I'm not. If I decide I don't mind working 5 days, I'll go back to it. But since 2019, I haven't. And my company's been able to accommodate me. Now, if I leave and go to a new company, they might not accommodate me straight away. But I guarantee you, I show up in my brain saying, right, I'm going to take this job, and in 6 months from now, I'm going to be working 3 days again because I'm going to show them how good I am. And it just is what it is. I've offered my brain that thought. So my brain believes me. I believe that statement. So therefore, my brain will ensure that I take actions in line with that thought. The more you reframe, argue, challenge the negative thoughts, the better your actions become. Because your decisions right now are based on what your what ifs are. Your decisions right now are based on the thoughts that your brain is delivering to you. Your brain is telling you, you probably won't be able to do this. It's going to be too hard. You've been doing the same job for years and years and years. No one else will take you seriously in a new industry. You'll have to start from scratch. Therefore, your actions are following those thoughts. You're not making the best decisions. You're maybe applying to jobs that are just jobs that you don't even want, or jobs that you know are so far out of reach that you're just like, yeah, I'm just going to apply anyway, because you know you're not going to get a response. You're sending a crap CV because you don't actually want a response, because your brain has told you can't anyway. The quality of your decisions and the quality of the actions you take are based on the quality of your thoughts. Like I said, you cannot get rid of the negative thoughts, but you can remember that your brain is just offering you information and you get to decide what you do with that information. If you want better quality results, it all starts off with letting go of the shitty what ifs. If you want to make better decisions, take better actions, and move differently, it all starts with the thoughts you're currently having. You cannot move differently with the same information being filtered into your reality. The negative thoughts will not leave. How you filter them will. I know I've said it so many times, but this is so important because so many people are going to tell you, push past your fear. It's not going anywhere. The fear's right there with you. You're not going to not be scared. There's not a time when you're not going to be scared. Just accept it. There's not a time when you're not going to have negative thoughts. Just accept it. The difference is you can have more positive thoughts than you have negative thoughts by constantly questioning the negative thoughts, by constantly saying, okay, well, what if this happens? But also, what if this happens? Which one do I like the feeling of more? What if it all works out? Cool. How can I help it all work out? What do I need to do? I don't have all the answers, but what can I do right now so that my what if is what if it works out? Do you know how good it feels when you're like, oh my gosh, what if I get that money that I've been asking for? What if I get that promotion? It would feel so good. And you know, when you start daydreaming, you start feeling that feeling. That's the positive what ifs. You can choose those thoughts. So yeah, guys, I didn't want this episode to be a long episode. I just wanted you guys to remember your what ifs are feeding everything that's currently happening to you in your life. You can decide to say, what if it all falls apart? Or you can say, what if I figure out a way to make sure it doesn't? Because sometimes you can't jump all the way to what if it all goes amazing. Your brain can't get behind that. That's okay. But what if I'm willing to do what it takes so that I'm not stuck in a job I hate for another 30 years? What if I'm willing to figure it out? And we're going to leave it there. Enjoy your days, guys. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your month. Enjoy the rest of the year. If you want to know more about working with me or hearing me speak, remember to head over to my Instagram. I go live sometimes. I'm always on there sharing what I'm doing. You can see more about my services, what I do, how I can help. Whether you want to move your career forward, whether you want more money, because a lot of the time people come to me, it's more money, it's less hours. There are so many components of your job that aren't working. That's what I'm here for. But the underlying root of it all is the confidence and the thoughts and your mindset. And when we get to grips with that, everything on the outside, everything in your world will start to change really quickly. I hope this episode gave you exactly what you needed and motivated you to confidently take steps towards your next career move. If you enjoyed it, screenshot and share it on your socials, tag me on Instagram, and come join my community of amazing women working on leveling up their confidence and career. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.